If you have ever seen a Model United Nations or MUN conference, there are a bunch of people dressed professionally in suits, ties, dresses, and nice shoes. In this video, we will learn why these people dress up and why they are called delegates. The best way to understand MUN is to understand the role you will play. Most participants begin as a delegate. If you have never heard this word before, don't worry. It simply means that you are someone who represents a country that is part of the UN. I will explain the 5 things that you need to do as a delegate. 1. Represent a country. 2. Write a resolution. 3. Research. 4. Lobby or caucus. And last but not least, 5. Debate. This video will be an introduction to these 5 topics. Please be sure to watch the next videos that will go more into depth about each issue. A delegate is someone who represents the government of a country like Russia, South Africa, Vanuatu, or Germany. Delegates talk with one another about their country's political positions or their country's policy. This policy is the position of the country's government, which some or many of their citizens might oppose. For example, although the government might ban a religion, many of the citizens might disagree. A delegate of the Vatican represents just over 400 people, while the delegate of Australia represents over 25 million, and a delegate of India or China represents over 1 billion. Since a delegate is a representative of their country, you will always say we or us. A delegate should not use I or my, saying I think or my opinion is, because a delegate speaks again for the government, not for themselves. As a representative of a country, delegates dress formally when they meet to debate international problems. One of the primary responsibilities of a delegate is to work together with other countries to find solutions to international problems. To do this, delegates write resolutions with other members in their committee. Resolutions seek to resolve problems such as poverty, climate change, racism, war, natural disasters, etc. A resolution is a document that clarifies the actions the United Nations will take regarding an issue. For it to be effective, it must have a majority of the countries supporting it in a vote. What makes MUN difficult, just like in real international politics, is that different countries have different opinions about what the problems and solutions are. Take, for instance, the problem of climate change. Some countries do not worry about climate change, and many disagree about what the solutions are needed to address it. It is your job as a delegate to find solutions to these problems and create a resolution with other delegates in your committee. Before you can start creating a resolution, you need to understand the problems the resolution aims to solve. These topics can be very complex. Take, for instance, the issue of providing clean drinking water in rural and undeveloped areas. The problem will vary depending on the geographic location of the rural communities. Providing drinking water in the desert or on an island in the middle of an ocean will need different solutions. These geographic problems can be further complicated by ethnic or political conflicts over the use of water. Once you have a clear understanding of the problem, you need to find what your country's policy is. Does your country have a water problem? Has your country helped others that do? What you find in your research will help determine what your country's policy is. After you have researched the problem, you will need to talk with others. This process is called lobbying or caucusing. Lobbying is when delegates talk to other delegates. You might have heard this term when companies lobby to persuade politicians to favor their product or service. Although they have different motives, this is similar to what delegates do. They talk to other delegates to try to persuade them of their country's policies. At some conferences, this time is called an unmoderated caucus. When lobbying, you will meet with other delegates, each with their own ideas on how to solve your resolution's topic. In lobbying, you write a draft resolution with other delegates that often have similar policies as your country. In some conferences, like MUN, many different groups meet and lobby at the same time. They write many different resolutions to be debated. After you finish creating your draft resolution, you move to debate. Debate is the time to discuss a resolution with all delegates. Your lobbying group will only be a fraction of the delegates in the room. When your group's draft resolution is debated, all delegates can discuss the resolution as well as change it. At the end of debate, everyone votes either for, against, or remains neutral, which is also known as abstaining. If a majority votes in favor of the resolution, it will pass. If this were to pass in the real UN, it would hopefully be an effective response to the problem. In MUN, delegates learn how to work together to pass such ideas to complex global problems. In summary, we have learned 5 things we need to do to be a delegate. 1. Represent a country with formal dress and language. 2. Write a resolution to solve an international problem. 3. Research a topic and your country's policy. 4. Lobbying or caucusing with other students to get support for your policies. And lastly, but not least, 5. To debate and vote on a resolution. Thanks for watching. To learn more about being a delegate, click here to learn how to write a resolution.